I know it's been a while, but I am back with another bump date. The last one I did was through, I want to say 17 weeks. So this one's going to be a little bit more expansive. We're going to be doing 18 through 28 weeks. I'm actually 28 weeks, 5 days. This weekend I'll be 29 weeks, so we're just going to stick with it. I had planned to do like a couple smaller updates, but I'll be honest, life just got a little bit crazy. The holidays and work and just being pregnant, and then we had our baby shower. A lot was going on and I just did not have time to sit down and film one of these, so bear with me. This one might be a little rambly, but hopefully I cover everything that needs to be covered. Also, I'm keeping it real casual today, guys, like non-maternity t-shirt, sweater, cardigan, and you can't see them, but leggings. I'm in my 3rd trimester now, so like comfort is key. So I am officially in my 3rd trimester, which, in case you were wondering, is the last trimester, which I'm equally excited and terrified about. I mean, it's crazy. She's gonna be here in around 11 weeks or less, which is just like crazy to think about. When I found out I was pregnant, I was only 4.5 weeks, so like I was really barely pregnant, and I just kept thinking to myself, like, this is gonna take forever. I'm gonna be pregnant forever, I feel like. And now that I'm in my 3rd trimester, I'm like, oh my god, 11 weeks, so much to do. I'm not prepared. What a baby. Like, it's just crazy to think like a human child will be counting on us for everything in 2.5 months. It's crazy in a good way, but just crazy. So there's that realization that we have come to, I think, exclusively, mutually, not exclusively. So the rest of my 2nd trimester was pretty uneventful, thankfully. I didn't really have a lot of complaints or symptoms. I did start seeing a chiropractor at 17 weeks, primarily because I was having a lot of lower back and sciatic pain, which I have had pre-pregnancy for years. I actually injured my back at my job when I was in high school and I was 16, and I've had sciatic nerve pain on and off since then, which is annoying, but whatever, that's life. And even though I wasn't super big or really barely showing at 17 weeks, my body was definitely feeling it and was starting to flare up on that sciatic pain. So a recommendation of a friend locally, there was a chiropractor who actually specializes in maternity, pregnancy, and then like infant pediatric care. She is awesome, and I highly recommend, if you are pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant, finding a chiropractor who specializes in it, because even if you don't have like major pains and aches, like they do so much to help prepare your body for labor and aligning your pelvis and your hips and this whole area, and like the nervous system, they all play such an important role in the labor and birth process. And honestly, I really think it's making a difference. Obviously, I'm not gonna be in labor yet, so only time will tell, but I truly think that it will make a difference. There's been some studies where as much as 45% of women who saw chiropractors had significantly lesser labor times and discomfort. So, I mean, that's almost 50%. That's a pretty big thing, and it's not like it costs all that much. I don't have insurance, so I just pay cash, and honestly, it's not that much for me, so I'm sure if you had insurance, it'd be even less. Definitely something I recommend and look into. So I've been seeing her like every 3-ish weeks. Now that I'm in my 3rd trimester and I'm really starting to feel pregnant, as I tell people, I'm probably gonna be seeing her more, probably every 2 weeks or 1 week, because I need it. So that happened. I think I started to like really like gain around 18-ish weeks. The first few weeks I actually lost, in like the first 12 weeks I lost a little over 3 pounds just from being nauseous and not super hungry, and then I gained maybe like a pound or 2 a month here or there, and then starting at 18 weeks I gained anywhere from 3 to 4 pounds a month, which seems crazy to me because I'm just always been one who's very, I guess, conscious of my weight, and I'm on the smaller side, so I was like, oh my gosh, but everyone at my midway's office that I've seen said I was right on track. They weren't concerned, and they were like, trust us, we will tell you if you are gaining too much or not enough, like we'll make sure you know, take care of that. So I am on track. As of now, at almost 29 weeks, I'm up 14 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight. So that's great. For my BMI and body type, they recommend 25 to 35 pound total weight gain over the course of the pregnancy. With a little around 11 weeks to go, I guess I'm doing all right there. Personally, I was hoping to shoot for 20 to 25 total. We'll see what happens. But that's just more like a personal thing. I'm not dieting or anything by any means. So that's that. Again, it's just like crazy when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm up 14 pounds, because I'm eating more, but really not that much more. But you have to think about, you know, how much the baby herself weighs, the placenta, everything. You know, you have extra blood volume and fluid in your body, so it's not like it's all fat, you know? And at this point, baby weighs anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 pounds, and she's from head to toe approximately 15 to 16 inches long, which is mind-boggling to me. Like, that's crazy. I will say that a lot of people say that the second trimester is like the honeymoon phase of pregnancy, and I think that is super true. Right when I first hit my second trimester, which is I think 14 weeks, I was like, okay, where's this magical burst of energy that everyone talks about? Because I was not feeling it. I was still really tired and requiring naps. Nausea had gone at that point, but not the sleepiness issue. But I would say around 16, 17, maybe 18 max weeks, I started feeling myself. Like, I really didn't feel pregnant. I mean, like, little things here and there around ligament pain, and like I said, I was way hungrier than normal, but aside from that, I did not feel pregnant for the majority of my second trimester, which was awesome. We were able to get stuff done. We ended up having our shower when I was 27 weeks, mostly because with my due date in February and everything would be falling around the holidays, my mom and mother-in-law, who were the ones who hosted the shower, just thought it would be easier to do it pre-holiday, and I'm really thankful we did it because now it just gives us more time to kind of like know what we have, figure out what we need, and just be organized. Because I am type A, your girl needs to be organized. Actually, I had this with me, I thought I would show real quick. So this is the, hopefully it's focusing. This is the invitation, I'm covering up the, you know, personal info, that they sent out for my shower. I just thought it turned out so cute. It was like a woodland animal neutrals theme, because that's kind of what we're going for her nursery, very neutral, whites, ivories, and then little pops of pink blush. So, oh hey Katniss. Alright, she's gonna be back there. She loves that blanket. The shower was beautiful, the decor was gorgeous, everything turned out so great. It was such a great turnout, so many friends and family came, and we were blessed with so many amazing gifts. Like, seriously, it was awesome. So I would say the biggest symptoms that I've had for most of my second trimester and are continuing into now would be like heart indigestion, reflux kind of, which I struggled with that on and off pre-pregnancy, but I definitely like every night I almost have to take a Pepcid before bed. But it's pretty normal. I mean, your organs are shifted, there's weight and pressure that's not normally there, pushing in that area. By the end of the day, I feel like my digestive system is just like, help me. So it's not a big deal, it could be way worse, but that's a discomfort or symptom that I've dealt with. Another one, like I said, on and off back pain. Nothing major for the most part, and my pregnancy pillow definitely helps with that at night when I'm sleeping. I would say I am now starting to get more tired as I'm nearing the end, if you will. The last like 2 or 3 weeks, I've gotten to where I actually do need to take naps here and there, not daily or multiple times a day like the first trimester, but I am starting to feel I get tired easier, and I think that's pretty normal. It's just, you know, I'm getting bigger, she's getting bigger, my body's preparing. I'm not sleeping as much at night because I do tend to get up at least once or twice a night to pee, so, you know, it's just kind of like par for the course. Also, a symptom that kind of, I think, showed up around 20-ish weeks, which may seem a little bit on the early side of things, but I think it's more to do with my body type and my build, is shortness of breath. Like walking, talking, literally walking from one room to the other or going up a flight of stairs, I'm like, you think I just climbed a freaking mountain. But I have I think I mentioned this before, but I have a very short torso. From my final rib bone to my hip bone is like 3 inches or something. I have really long legs, which I feel like everyone is always like, oh, I want long legs. Yeah, they're great until you're pregnant and you have a stubby torso. And then you're like, you know what would be great? A long torso. I mean, it's fine. It's just like she doesn't have as much up and down space to go, so everything is kind of compressed and pushed on more, including my lungs. So I know a lot of people talk about shortness of breath happening more in like the 3rd trimester or farther along. It kind of started earlier for me, but again, I just think that has to do with my body type. I mean, my blood pressure and everything, heart rate are fine, so it's nothing as far as like more serious complications. That's just kind of how my body is built, I guess. So that was like the biggest one, I would say. And then the fun one that started happening maybe like around 26-ish weeks. It was right around the time of our shower that I started noticing it, and it's gotten significantly worse in the last like 10 days, is the hip and pelvic pain. Like, oh my gosh, if you've had it before, you know, but like, I don't even know how to describe it. I literally will get like a burning pain in the middle of my pelvis, like in my crotch region. So it's not exactly like a flattering place to get it. And it's like a burning, searing pain. And then from like my hip joints all the way around the pelvis, it's just, walking can be excruciating. Laying in any position, sitting, like, it's really like no matter what you do, it's uncomfortable. And you want to like spread your legs out super far, very ladylike, but like, because you think that it helps it feel better, but that's like a short-term help, because then when you get up, you can't hardly walk. I don't know if I technically have SPD, which I can never pronounce it properly, but I think it's symphysis pubicis disorder. Google it. It can happen when you're pregnant. I don't know if it's that severe, because my midwife said if I get to the point where I literally cannot walk, then that would be diagnosed as SPD. Which there's been times where I feel like I can't walk, but I can hobble. But at the very least, it's just, again, I think it comes down to body type and build. I'm built like a 12-year-old boy. I do not have very wide hips, and your body starts releasing relaxin, which is that hormone, in the second trimester that's meant to literally like make your joints and those bones kind of flexible, because it prepares your body for the baby to come through the chamber, and, you know, makes labor more possible for your body. But it also can cause those joints to be wonky and painful, which is kind of where I'm at right now. I'm hoping that the chiropractor will be able to help me with that. I'm seeing her again on Monday, and this started between like my last visit and next visit, because I know that it can have to do with like your hip and pelvis being out of alignment, which mine are. She told me that months ago. So hopefully, like, I'm going to see her a little more often, and her adjustments can help with that. And then I'm looking actually into getting a maternity belt too, to kind of like pull the belly up a little, because I guess pulling that weight up off of those joints can definitely help relieve some of the discomfort, because it's to the point where it is affecting my daily life a lot. Like, it's just really uncomfortable. I've had to move my like workstation upstairs onto the couch, because going up and down the stairs where our home office is and sitting in the computer chair all day was like not doing it for me. So yeah, it sucks kind of. And we went on a little baby moon to Chicago, and walking and like jogging across the street, crossing traffic. Yeah, that angered it like a lot. So that was fun. But honestly, I feel like that's my biggest complaint. And if that's my biggest complaint, I feel like I'm doing great. But definitely not a fun pain, and if you've had it, you know it's not fun. If you have any tips on how to help it, please share them with me, because I would love to know any and all tips. Like, I'll do anything at this point. Oh, I almost forgot the one other super duper fun thing that I just did this week, right after Thanksgiving. The dreaded glucose test. I will say, it's not fun, but it's not as bad as I feel like so many people hyped it up to be. Like, on my What to Expect app, like, so many people are like, oh my god, the glucose test is the worst. My office actually doesn't even offer a 1-hour test, which a lot of offices do, where you don't have to fast. You just eat like a low-carb meal beforehand if you're doing it during the day. And then you drink the drink, and they do then they take your blood sugar levels. Well, I guess there's a lot of false positives for that. A lot of people fail that test, and then they go on to have to do the 3-hour fasting one. And they've passed that. So my office does a 2-hour, which is kind of in between, because they like to have more accurate results, I guess. So at first I was like, this sucks, because I had to fast after midnight. I got there at 8:30. So on an empty stomach, I had to drink this 8.5 ounces of what I can only describe as like hummingbird nectar, because it was that sweet. It literally burned my throat. That's how sweet it was. And I'm not someone who can chug a drink, and I was told I had 5 minutes. And then the lady doing the test said I only had 3, which it took me about 5, because she wanted me to chug it, and I was like, okay, well, if I chug this, I'm going to throw it all up, and then we all lose. So like, let's not. So I drank it as fast as I could, on an empty stomach. They drew my blood before I drank it. They drew it at 1 hour and then at 2 hours. The first hour was rough. Like, every time I burped, it tastes like sugar Hawaiian punch. Super disgusting. And I just felt kind of like, ugh, like queasy, not good. The second hour, I was just hungry at that point and cranky, so that wasn't as bad. And I did end up passing, thank the Lord, because your girl loves carbs. And I mean, I could have done it. It wouldn't have been a big deal, but like, doing a gestational diabetes diet, low carb diet, would have made me sad, especially over the Christmas holidays. So I'm very thankful that I passed. And I would say it is important to do, because you could have gestational diabetes and not have any symptoms, which is why I didn't opt to not do it. Who comes up with the idea like, let's take cranky, hungry pregnant women, make them fast for 8+ hours, and then drink a nasty sweet drink when they're already like easily made nauseous? I mean, honestly, where's the logic in that? I will never understand. So I think that about sums it up. Like I said, I'm sorry if this video is a long one. That's what happens when you don't do it for like 11 weeks. But I'm really excited that I'm in my 3rd trimester. So I am wearing a non-maternity t-shirt. So right now it kind of just looks lumpy, but I will try and, there's with the shirt on. I'm definitely getting big compared to before. Like the belly is popped and real. And then I will show you with the shirt up. So there she be. Getting big. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!